I want to show you today how social media research can save lives, improve health, and generally make people happier. Now, these are pretty big claims that I want to back up. But before I get into that, let me bore you guys with a few slides on how and what we do. We are a qualitative social media intelligence company looking to extract meaning from social media. The part that you probably all know is what we call observation. So you are basically outside observing the communication flows with various technologies, and you will get to sort of the data that is here are word clouds, keyword frequencies, channel distributions, all of those quantitative metrics that you can put around the massive streams of communication. There are like something like 15 to 20 billion messages going through the open web every day. Further down, you see some of the more sophisticated technologies, such as sentiment analysis or outputs of natural language processing. But by and large, they end up to be measures of keyword distances, frequencies, whatnot. There's another way of actually looking at social media, and this is what we call qualitative social media intelligence. In order to think about it, it's probably best if you conceive of it as just like as the picture shows back in the 1950s, people talking over the fence. And that's really what's happening. There are millions of forums, blogs, Facebook conversations, whatnot, where normal people, normal, authentic consumers, citizens, voters, whatever their role is, are conversing with each other. Social media is super interesting, not only because they are talking with each other, but they're always obviously also being watched by many people. There's a it's like an iceberg. One person comments, 7 will like or share, and about 90 will see. The stress on understanding is around interpretation. You have all of the data there, but actually you need to engage with it in order to extract some of these other type of insights, such as needs, fears, concerns, narrative frames. It's all embedded in stories and experiences that people exchange unsolicited with each other. So how do you do this? I think one of the key ways of turning this raw material, I hope you see my mouse moving around, into proper insights is to go through these few steps and internalize those. So first of all, technology is a tool, not the solution. You will use technology, you will have to rely on it to find, store, search maybe the databases, but it cannot become the solution. The reason for that is that we all know that, is that research is a creative process. You are actually seeing new things. You are trying to connect points and extract insight that hasn't been there before. So technology won't be really able to help you with this. It is because in order to find something, you need to understand the people behind those conversations, of which you only see the conversations. But the key is that it's humans who understand humans. Part of that is obviously that what is meant is often not said. In our research, we find it quite often that there's whole areas of the conversation that are not brought up by people. They are not discussing it, obviously showing that there is something that they're avoiding or not talking or about that entails meaning. And probably most importantly, it is about a hypothesis-free approach. And that has a couple of meanings. And I will stress 2 now. One is that you use a type of grounded theory to approach this. You see what they're talking about, given in a special topic, and you allow the data to drive your understanding of it. people talk about things the way they talk about it, and it is not an option to actually go out and ask them about it. So you have to see how these conversations are emerging and what contexts they touch upon. The other hypothesis-free angle to this is that actually, it's a luxury. You don't have to filter for any type of target audience. It's based on the topic, so anyone who is engaged with that topic will enter this discussion and connect on some level. This gives you the opportunity to, when using social media analysis, to see all of the voices, all of the target groups, all of the audiences and stakeholders who are engaged in this discussion at the same time, and also how they influence each other. It's quite a difference from other approaches in that you can see how different target groups are influencing each other as well. Now, let me go back to my previous statements, those big ones, and show you a couple of case studies how this actually works, or what the type of insights that are there. In a project we've done recently for an international NGO that is hell-bent on stopping the construction of a nuclear power plant, we looked at different type of discussions in social media. First of all, we looked at the specific discussion around the construction of the power plant. What we found wasn't too exciting. It was, basically ideological battles along entrenched lines with, I wouldn't say low personal involvement because people got really agitated, but their individual involvement was quite low. Where we struck gold was when we looked at the actual fears around nuclear, not the construction, and you can see it on the screen. The key there was cancer travels through water. Now that might sound ridiculous, but if you condense all of the fears around nuclear, then what you'll find is that people believe that cancer is infectious and it travels through water. This insight allowed us to make a set of recommendations to our client to actually properly really engage with the people who are already worried about nuclear. It allows them to speak to their language and connect their thinking, and they know everything about it, but connect their language, their thinking with the people who are already afraid of nuclear and helping them to move forward. Another story. We were asked by a Swiss chocolate manufacturer to help them find out what to do with their Swiss chocolate brand. You would find, okay, Switzerland chocolate, kind of interesting. So we started looking at it and realized that while looking at the category of chocolate in Switzerland, that most of the comments were connected to the market leader and legal battles with German chocolate manufacturers, and really that chocolate is about nationalism in Switzerland. I've put in here a picture of that we found on Twitter to show you what happened there. Essentially, the market leader Lind has become so cocky and so arrogant in the view of the Swiss consumers that it actually lost its root to its Swissness, which is dedication, smallness, slowness, and turned into a German brand. This picture was uploaded by a Swiss user, Swiss consumer, getting really upset with this brand, saying, "Screw you, this is not okay." So basically, what we found is that the biggest driver of conversation and tension in the chocolate category in Switzerland is nationalism, and that the market leader has a problem with it. they are not as Swiss as they would like to. Our client implemented this, and and made them really happy. So it actually worked. They've changed the logo, they've changed their communication around the brand, made it extremely Swiss, and have been very, very happy. Let me show you another example of unexpected insights. Late last year, we were doing an analysis for a major hospital chain in the US, looking at why and how people perceive the quality of care and how they actually work with what they see, how they want to have healthcare being delivered to them. Obviously, looking for opportunities for our client. And what we found, we did not want to believe at the beginning. The key driver to perception of quality care is food. Now you might think, oh my God, what is that? But actually, it does make sense. Imagine you are a patient. You have zero knowledge of the medical science. You actually don't know what's happening with you. The only thing that you really know is what you get served at your bed. So just to make this point more visible, imagine two identical hospitals next to each other. The one serves really, really good food. The other one serves horrible food. Obviously, you would think that the one with good food will also provide a better healthcare. Yeah, it was kind of funny delivering this insight to our client, as they first got shocked and didn't want to believe it, but once they actually verified this, they went on with it. And we were just talking the other week where they mentioned to us that they're working on some absolutely fantastic new grilled cheese sandwiches. What is basically the same with all of these three different unexpected insights is that they are obvious, that they are in front of you, that they are extremely natural. And this is basically the key to social media analysis, is that it finds those things that orient consumer decisions, but does not use the normativity or the rationality or just standard social behavior as a filter. It is raw, and it will show you the elephant in the room that no one would ever think. Obviously, no one would ever say that the food is the most important differentiator of healthcare quality. You would think he's an idiot. So, let me recap. I think one of the most important things is that social media intelligence, or social media in itself, is an incredible unique window into consumers' in-the-moment self-expression. The insights that emerge are raw, are real, and quite refreshing, to be honest. I mean, you either cry or laugh. We don't do any study without that. The insights are, I phrase it like, beyond the constraints of social normativity. There are lots of things that you and I would never talk about because it's obvious, it's not socially accepted, or you would think that I'm ridiculously stupid. Now, social media keeps this honest. People behind the veil of anonymity are very honest about what they dream or hope or really think about. Finding and doing qualitative research in social media obviously requires a massive human effort, but overall it's a very agile, deep, and very comprehensive tool. The level of detail that we find keeps stunning everyone. It is, people really, it's not just extremes that are being discussed. People talk about the minute details of everyday life. It's out there, and you should use it. And that's really the last point I want to make, is what we found is if you do social media intelligence, it helps you to make your focus group surveys much better because it actually explores everything, it discovers all of the things, and you can go in the next phase and do a lot of hypothesis testing and already know what people are saying by them to get go.